your form can work perfectly. Collect every field, send every notification, redirect every user exactly where you need them, and still feel completely cut off place on your site. Wrong colors, wrong spacing, wrong vibe. That's what the Style tab is for. Everything we're covering today, colors, typography, borders, spacing, field states, buttons, confirmation messages, happens inside the builder with no custom CSS required. In this video, we are going through every single option so you know exactly what's possible. Let's get into it. To get started, open any form in the builder and click the Style tab. It's the third tab in the left panel, right next to Add Fields and Options. This is where all visual customization lives. Not field by field, not with custom CSS. All of it in one place, applied consistently across the entire form at once. Whatever you set here is exactly what visitors will see on your published site. When you land on the Style tab, you'll see a section called Ivy Styles, with a single card, Ivy Default. This is your starting style. It's already applied to every new form. The card gives you a visual preview with a sample of the typography and color palette. Click the three-dot menu in the top right corner of the card and choose Edit to open the style editor. The style editor opens with two modes at the top, Quick Start and Advanced. Quick Start is selected by default. Let's start there. Quick Start is exactly what it sounds like, a focused set of controls for the decisions that have the biggest visual impact. No noise, just the things that matter most. At the top of the list, Form Background and Form Border Color let you set the outer shell of the form, the canvas everything else sits on. Form Border Width controls whether a border shows at all. Set it to 0 and the border disappears completely, regardless of the color you've picked. Below that, vertical spacing and horizontal spacing control the breathing room between fields, how open or compact the form feels. And the form corner sets the border radius of the entire form container. Small values for a sharp professional look, higher values for something softer and more rounded. Moving down, form title text sets the color of the form's main heading, the first thing visitors read. Then comes the field section. Field background, transparent by default, or set to fill. Field text for the color of what users type. Field border color for the input outlines, and field corner for how rounded the individual input fields are. Scrolling further, you get field border width, field padding left and right, and field padding top and bottom. These together determine how compact or spacious the inside of each input feels. Then label font color, which controls the text color of every field label on the form. At the bottom of the Quick Start panel, the button controls round things out, background color, border width, and button text color. These four options alone cover the most common button styling needs, and every single change updates the form preview live on the right as you make it. Use the Sample View button in the bottom right corner of the Style panel before you finalize anything in Quick Start. It swaps the live preview for a full reference sheet showing every field state at once, default, active, error, open dropdown, so you can see whether your color choices hold up across all conditions, not just the default idle state. Hit back to form to return to the live preview when you're done. When you need to go further, when Quick Start gets you close but not quite there, switch to Advanced mode. Advanced divides the form into distinct sections, each with its own collapsible panel. You're not editing the form as one monolithic thing anymore. You're editing every layer of it independently. Let's go through each one. General is the form container itself. Beyond what Quick Start covers, you get two extra controls here. Form border style. Choose between solid, dashed, or dotted. And form alignment, where you can pin the form to the left, center it, or align it to the right within its container. You also get separate form padding left and right and padding top and bottom controls for the inner breathing room of the form container itself, independent or field spacing. Form title gives you dedicated styling for the heading at the top of the form, font size, weight, color, and spacing. Form description does the same for the optional description text that appears beneath the title. These two sections are where typography starts. You can match your form's heading size and weight directly to your site's heading style, so the form header doesn't feel like a different product from the rest of the page. That continues into field labels, the text that sits above each input, with its own controls for font color, size, and weight. And field placeholder covers the lighter hint text inside the input before the user types anything. Taken together, form title, form description, field labels, and field placeholder give you a complete typography stack for the form, every piece of text independently controlled, with no CSS involved. Getting the contrast right between your label color and your placeholder color is a small thing that makes a big difference in how readable and polished a form feels. Field states are where you control how every input looks across each of its four conditions. Before diving in, click the Sample View button in the bottom right corner of the Style panel. It swaps the live form preview for a reference sheet showing all four states side by side: a default field, an active or focused field, an error field, and a read-only field. Keep that open as you work through this section, so every change you make is immediately visible in context. The four states are controlled via tabs at the top: Default, Active, Read-Only, and Error. Each tab has its own independent set of styling controls. Default is the resting appearance, what the field looks like before anyone interacts. Here you get the full range: background, font weight, style and size, field text and description color, border color, corner radius, and border width. Active is the focused state, what the field looks like the moment the user clicks into it. The controls here are more targeted: background, border color, field text, description color, and border style. This is where you typically set a highlight color to signal which field is currently selected. Read-only styles fields that have been set as non-editable for pre-filled or display-only values. It gets the same set of controls as active, letting you visually distinguish read-only inputs from regular ones. Error styles the field when validation fails, for example, when a required field is left empty on submit. A clear border color change and readable error text make it obvious to users exactly which fields need attention. When you're done, hit back to form to return to this live preview. Checkbox and radio selection handles the visual styling of those specific field types: the selected state color, border appearance, and sizing. These tend to be the fields that look most like stock browser defaults if you leave them alone, so this section is worth visiting if those fields are part of your form. Button states mirror the field states concept, but for your submit button. You can style the default state, the hover state, and the active clicked state independently, giving you full control over how the button responds to user interaction. Confirmation message lets you style the success state, the message or content users see after they submit. Since this is often the last thing a visitor sees, having it feel visually consistent with the rest of the form matters. Beyond the core sections, Advanced also includes dedicated panels for rating, date and time picker, and select, each with styling options specific to how those field types look and behave visually. If your form includes any of these, their panels let you match them seamlessly to the rest of your design. And at the very bottom, CSS class. If you need to go beyond what the style editor offers and apply your own custom CSS, you can add a class here and target it in your theme's style sheet. It's an escape hatch for edge cases. Most forms won't need it, but it's there when they do. One more thing, the Reset button. It's at the top of the style editor in both Quick Start and Advanced modes. If your adjustments produce something unexpected or you want to start completely fresh, Reset brings every value back to the original Ivy default settings in one click. No need to hunt down which setting caused the problem. A few things worth saying out loud before you hit Update. Keep contrast in mind. Your label text and field text need to stay readable against whatever background you've chosen. It's easy to miss this in the builder when you're focused on colors matching. Use consistent colors that tie back to your site's actual theme, not just colors that look good in isolation. And go easy on spacing. It's tempting to add breathing room everywhere, but too much vertical or horizontal spacing makes a form feel disconnected, like the fields don't belong together. Most importantly, always test the form on the front end after you've finished styling it. The builder preview is accurate, but it's a controlled environment. Your site has its own background, its own typography, its own layout context, and sometimes a color that looks right in the editor needs a small adjustment when it's sitting inside a real page. It takes 30 seconds and it's worth it every time. And that's the Style tab, the full picture. Quick Start when you want speed, Advanced when you want precision, Sample View to validate your choices, and Reset when you need a clean slate. The whole point is that your form should feel like it was made for your site, not dropped into it. Subscribe if you want more IvyForms tutorials as they drop. And if you've got a question about something I didn't cover, or you built something you're proud of, drop it in the comments. We actually read them and we love seeing what you're building. See you in the next one.